All right, today we're going to talk about something, a feeling that I bet a lot of you know, but maybe you've struggled to put a name to. We're calling it the outsider syndrome. Okay, let's just start right here with this question. Seriously, think about this for a second. Have you ever been with your friends, right? People you've known forever? Everyone's having a good time, laughing, and yet you feel disconnected, kind of like you're on the outside looking in. If that feeling resonates with you at all, then yeah, you are definitely in the right place.
So what is that feeling? You know, when you're physically in the room, but your brain feels like it's a million miles away. Well, there's a term for it that I think is perfect. Social hovering.
And social hovering is exactly what it sounds like. It's that really strange sensation where, yeah, you're standing in the circle, but in your head you feel like you're just floating on the edge, you know? Not quite a full member. And what's so wild about this is what's happening internally. It's this quiet, nagging feeling that your membership card for this group is, well, conditional, or maybe even temporary. You might feel like you need a special invitation just to say something, even though you're literally already part of the conversation.
And that right there, that's the crucial point. This isn't just some random one-off feeling. When it happens again and again, when it becomes a pattern, well, then it has a name, and that's the outsider syndrome.
Like if any of this is hitting home for you, the most important thing I can tell you right now is this. You are so not alone. This is a real, recognized psychological pattern, and just understanding it, that's the first huge step toward actually changing it. Okay, so that naturally leads to the big question, right? Why? Why does this even happen? Well, it turns out there are two main psychological reasons that can really set the stage for the syndrome. So on one side, you've got what's called our childhood blueprint. Think of it as how our past experiences shape our social habits today. And on the other side, there's something called rejection sensitivity. This is where our brain basically goes into overdrive, acting like a threat detection system in social settings. Let's break both of these down a little more. All right, first up, the childhood blueprint. Imagine this. Maybe you grew up in a home where you felt like you always had to earn your spot at the table, or constantly prove you were worthy of being there. What happens is you learn to make yourself small, to put your own needs on the back burner. And then, without even thinking about it, you carry that exact same blueprint, that same subconscious rule that it's safer on the edges, right into your adult friendships. Okay, so the second cause is rejection sensitivity. Think of your brain like a smoke detector that's way too sensitive. It's on high alert for any tiny whiff of social rejection. So a completely harmless event like an inside joke you didn't hear, your brain sets off the alarm. And what's the result? You start acting like a polite guest because you're scared to death of being treated like a trespasser.
And this quote, it just nails that internal monologue, doesn't it? Instead of your first thought being, oh, hey, what was the joke? Your brain just leaps to, see, they have a secret bond. I don't belong. It's such a powerful story our minds tell us, and it feels so real, but so often it's just not the truth.
Okay, so understanding where this feeling comes from is like half the battle, for real. But now let's get to the good stuff, the solution. How do we actually break this cycle? How do we go from feeling like a guest to finally feeling like a real member of the group? All right, this is super important. The most crucial first step has nothing to do with getting your friends to change their behavior. It's all about a mental shift that has to happen inside your own head first. And this right here, this is the whole game. The outsider syndrome is a pattern of thought. That's it. It feels 100% real. I get it. But it is not necessarily a reflection of what's actually happening or how your friends really feel about you. The second you can see that gap between the feeling and the reality, that's where you get your power back. So what can you actually do? Here are 3 simple, actionable steps. First, just acknowledge it. Name the feeling. Say to yourself, this is that pattern, that syndrome. It's not a fact. Step 2, catch the thought. The next time you feel yourself doing that social hovering thing, just notice it. Oh, there's that guest thought again. And finally, step 3, take one tiny action. You don't have to deliver a monologue. Just share one thought. Ask one question. Just step into the circle without waiting for an invitation that was never required in the first place. So let's just end on this note. That feeling of being an outsider, it's real. But the story you tell yourself about why you feel that way, that doesn't have to be. You are not a guest. You are a member. So the only real question is, what's one small thing you can do, maybe even this week, to start acting like it?